So without fail, as soon as I upload this video, there's Eagles breaking news. The Eagles cut waive Joe Ostman, the linebacker, getting their roster to 80 before the 4 p.m. deadline today. Ostman often hurt. He had a concussion this time with the Eagles, so they waive him. And that really means that whole Sam linebacker battle is going to be between Patrick Johnson and Jannard Avery. So, yes, Ostman showed flashes before but can never stay healthy. He is waived by the Eagles. So the Eagles finished their first open practice with the New York Jets today. I don't know how else to put it, but the Eagles double moonwalk that ass. Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes.
I'm a grown-ass man. Yeah, I'm a grown-ass man. Grown-ass man. Hey everybody, King Dingbat here. I'm in my garage with a cigar. It's only a candy cigar because my wife won't let me smoke one after I put that big fat head up in our bedroom. Let's get rid of that. At this point, I'd be happy for Dak to be playing for somebody else. And my team stinks. I agree. Stinks.
They laugh about us. We're a disgrace. We suck.
I am now Philly 500's bitch.
Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're hanging in there. I hope you guys are doing good because I just got finished sometimes watching stuff on the Dallas Cowboys. Like, it can make my stomach turn. Like, it gets sick to my stomach hearing some of the Dallas Cowboys content creators talking about the Cowboys and Jerry Jones and all this crap. I just listened to Mark Holmes, Novocained up. I guess he went to the dentist. Talking about Jerry Jones. Blowing kisses to Jerry Jones's ass. Let me say this about Jerry Jones from the bottom of my stinking heart because I gotta get this out. He is a moron! A moron! He stinks! I hate Jerry Jones. I can't stand the Cowboys. The hell with them. The hell with them. The hell with what? Domino's Pizza, Papa John's, whatever one there. The hell with it. I can't stand Jerry Jones. He's a moron. And after watching Mark Holmes' video on how great Jerry Jones is, I just gotta say Jerry Jones is a moron. He stinks. How can anybody be happy with that guy? I mean, seriously, man. He's Emperor Palpatine. I can't stand that guy. I just gotta say. I just watched this video, and I gotta get it out of my system. I feel better now. I feel a lot better. Alright, so, before I start this, or before I start talking about Eagles practice, I gotta say, if you have the Newsbreak app, if you're gonna get the Newsbreak app, click the link in the description. Give your boy a follow. I got a Carson Wentz video over there. It was an exclusive. Go check it out. All right, let's jump right into this. Eagles participation report, or as they say, Eagles injury report. Bradley, Clark, Cox, Dillard, Huntley, James, Stevens, all limited practice. Day-to-day and hurt is Avery groin, Barnett shoulder, Kerrigan thumb, Ostman concussion, Wallace groin. That's pretty much the injury report as it was for the Eagles' first joint practice with the New York Jets. And this really was a good practice by the Eagles on both sides of the ball. First thing, right off the bat, okay, the one thing that stood out to everybody, the Eagles' front four was dominating. It was dominating the New York Jets. They had no answers all day. They had no answers for that defensive line. They got pressure on the quarterbacks, and they made the whole day hard for the New York Jets offense. Pretty much that entire offense couldn't even get going. Couldn't even get going pretty much the whole day because that defense was just devastating. That front four was really good. And and I bring that up and I talk about that right off the bat because what do we notice when we watch the game, the preseason game with the New England Patriots? The Eagles had really third-string defensive linemen in. You could say second-string, but Barnett wasn't playing. Ryan Kerrigan wasn't playing. Those would be second-string defensive ends. So really, you were using third-string defensive ends versus the Patriots. And the Eagles' strength to that defensive line is that pass rush. That's why if people say, hey, I don't want to trade Derek Barnett, I want to keep him because because the defensive line for the Eagles is basically the strength of their defense. Their whole defense is predicated on pass rush. So when you go into a game versus like the Patriots, right, and that preseason game where you don't have your pass rush in, you don't have your defensive line in, yeah, you're going to look bad. You're going to look bad, okay? So to see that front four comes out and they just dominate the Jets, it's not a surprise to me. Wilson couldn't do anything on that defense. I think Brandon Graham had a strip sack. He stripped the ball from him. The defense was really good, and practice ended on an interception. So the defense was really good today, and that's a good thing. And if that defensive line is good, they're going to give teams problems. That defense can be good if that front four is getting pressure on the quarterback. That's as long as I've been watching the Eagles, which is basically since like right before Buddy Ryan, okay? They've always had a good pass rush. Their defense has always been built around their pass rush. Always will be, and that's the way it is. So it was good to see that those guys were playing really good. Steven Nelson did did get beat a couple times from what I'm hearing, but overall the Jets could not move the ball on the Eagles. Now, the opposite side of that, the Eagles offense, Jalen Hurts, fantastic today. Jalen Hurts had a really, really good day. He was on the money with his throws. He was moving around a lot. He scrambled on a couple plays, 25, 30 yards, showed a lot of speed, got out of the pocket, was able to throw deep a couple times. He hit Goddard on like a 45-yard bomb. Quez Watkins down the field. He rolls out. He throws deep. He goes up for a 50-50 ball, catches it. Quez Watkins going to have a monster year. I'm telling everybody, I've been saying this since the end of last year. Quez Watkins, he is going to be the guy. He is going to be the guy. He's going to be one of the big sleeper picks for me in training camp. And I feel vindicated. I feel vindicated by Quez Watkins this training camp. But he goes up for 50-50 ball, comes down, he gets hurt, which is, scary. Everybody's like, oh, no, here we go again. Quez Watkins leaves practice. He goes in the sideline, goes in the back, goes inside, comes back out, comes back in 11-11 practice, and he seems like he's fine. He's good to go. Whatever it was, didn't seem that serious. He came back to practice, which is a good thing. This is the second time this week that we've had wide receiver scare at practice. Yeah, the other day we had Devontae Smith. He comes out limping, gets looked at, comes back in. He's fine. He practiced today. He's not even on the injury report. Now you have Quez Watkins who came back in. So, we're getting through some of these little mini scares, right, with these guys, but we're not getting any significant injuries, knock on wood, if that's even wood, and hopefully that'll continue. Jalen Reagor had a really good day today, and I was listening to Jalen Reagor's press conference. He sounds very confident. He sounds a lot more confident, a lot more settled than he was any other time I've heard him talk. Even right before, Nick, my cannoli-eating, gabagool, disher-outer coach, before he even went off on and just got up all in that ass. Before he did that, Reagor definitely sounded different, okay? Ever since that point, the Nick Sirianni yelling at him point, Nick, I think you have a different Jalen Reagor than you had at the start of camp or even last year. Different guy. He seems a lot different. And just hearing him talk, he sounds more confident. He sounds like he knows what he's got to do. He sounds like he's thinking less about what he has to do, and he already knows it's more instinctive. I think Reagor is going to have a good year. I think all three of these wide receivers are going to be very impactful. I think they're going to be big play players, and I think the Eagles have the beginnings of a really good three set of wide receivers. I mean, you got a triple threat at wide receiver. Quez Watkins can take a 5-yard pass and go 80 yards. Jalen Reagor could take a 5-yard pass, could go 80 yards. Devontae Smith can get a 5-yard pass and go 80 yards. That is very hard to defend. It is very hard to defend. The Eagles have legitimate playmakers. They have legitimate speed. And not only those wide receivers, but when you think about the tight ends, Ertz, Goddard, when you think about those guys, you have weapons there too. And speaking of Ertz, I just got to say this. New Orleans just lost both tight ends. And it looks like they might have lost both tight ends for a significant amount of time. Okay? If they are desperate for a tight end, here we go. This could be the perfect situation. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying this is the kind of situation that the Eagles have been looking for when it comes to Zach Ertz. So let's watch and see how that plays out. Let's see how bad these tight ends for the Saints are hurt. Andre Dillard, since we're speaking of trades, stunk today. I heard he was getting beat all over. He was getting pushed back. And he's been ranked by different groups as the worst performer this preseason or this training camp for the Eagles. It doesn't look good for Andre Dillard. The question is, what can you even get for him? What can you even get for him? Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows, you know? But overall today, it's a very good practice. Jalen Hurts was outstanding. The receivers were outstanding. Tight ends were outstanding. The offensive line, first team offensive line was good. Defensive line was dominating. And that's how I like it. Now, will this all lead to the Eagles playing these starters or playing these guys on Friday during a preseason game versus the Jets? Probably not. I think they're going to wind up sitting everybody. I think they're going to say, oh, they had a great bunch of joint practices, a couple joint practices, rather. I think the last one is tomorrow. I think that's the last practice before the preseason game. So we're going to find out. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Eagles approach preseason. But I think there's some guys that have to play. I would love to see Hurts play. I would love to see Smith and all these guys play. Remember, there's 16 days between the Eagles' last preseason game and then the Eagles having their week 1 game versus the Atlanta Falcons. And oh, by the way, I'm saying this. People think I'm crazy for saying this, but I'm saying it. Eagles are starting 2-0. They will start this season 2-0. That doesn't mean I think they're going to win 10 games or 12 games or 15 games or whatever. But I really think they're going to start 2-0. I think that they could beat Atlanta week 1. And then I think you play San Francisco at home. First game back in over a year that the fans are at the stadium. I think it's the perfect setup for the Eagles to win that game too. I do. So I think the Eagles are going to start 2-0. But in the meantime, I want the Eagles to come out and be sharp. I want them to be ready to play the Falcons. And I would like to see them get some reps for Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, those receivers all together. Maybe a couple runs for Miles Sanders, my man Kenneth Gainwell, Professor Kenneth Gainwell. You know, let those guys see what they can do. I would like to see that. But it's going to be very, very interesting. Another guy I want to point out before I end this video is Travis Fulgham. Travis Fulgham had a really good day of practice. The first day I've heard that Travis Fulgham was making plays pretty much the whole camp. But this is a big week for him. This is a do-or-die week for Travis Fulgham. So the fact that he went out and had a good day is what we need. Now I need him to have a good preseason game. I need him to make sure that the Umbrella Man goes. I am relying on TF13 to terminate the Umbrella Man. That's what we need. That's what I want. With that said, I should be back for another video later on today. Might do a live stream, might not. I have a meeting that came up when I was going to do a live stream, so I may not be able to do that. But I should or will try to put out another video tonight. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And of course, don't be a dingbat. Alright, I like it. I like it. Alright, sorry. I was just watching the new trailer for Spider-Man. Actually looks pretty good. I didn't care for the second Spider-Man that they did. Was a Far From Home. This actually looks pretty good. I want to see if they bring back the other Spider-Mans. Going to be cool. But, you know, It is what it is. I gotta tell you, the beginning part of this video, I get so frustrated with the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys this, Jerry Jones that, Jerry Jones this. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. And the Giant fans, they have been more annoying than the Cowboy fans. But just when I see Jerry Jones, I hear about Jerry Jones, I just want to lose my friggin' mind. You know what I mean? Can't take it. They stink. Giants stink. And I just want to go out and beat the crap out of all these teams.